Hey channel, welcome back. This is a quick follow-up to yesterday's video where I installed the TifZioGu device that mimics a helmet comm system. Remember, I put it in the saddlebag here of the bike. Just wanted to follow up on a couple of things that might clarify, when you're watching that video yesterday. It all seemed to work fine. Apple CarPlay came up on my dashboard here on the bike, but it's been several videos back where I explain how I connect my phone to the bike to get Apple CarPlay. So I wanted to follow up yesterday's video with that extension and explain how I get it connected. So let's start though first about why I've made all these changes. Why I need either the Maidhawk or the TifZioGu device rather than what I had before. I didn't have either one of those two before. What I had before was the phone hooked up to the Quadlock wireless Apple CarPlay device that was hardwired to the bike, and then the helmet comm system was connected to the bike. That's the difference here. Keep track. The helmet, the Cena, was connected to the bike. All right. So for Apple CarPlay to work, it needs two things. It needs this Cena to be connected to the bike, and then it needs the phone to be connected to the bike. Those two things. The Cena was connected to the bike through headset pairing using the bike's software. The phone was connected to the bike using Bluetooth from the phone to a Quadlock wireless Apple CarPlay adapter, same as a Carlin kit adapter. It's a wireless connection from phone to that adapter. That adapter, I have it here. This Quadlock adapter is in my cubby hole, my glove box, if you will, and it is plugged in. It is hardwired to the bike. This device, hardwired to the bike. Then my phone is Bluetoothed to this device. That's how it was, all right? Now, what did that mean? Let's take, for instance, I get a phone call from my wife. She calls me. The first thing that happens is this phone realizes from the cell tower she's calling me, all right? And I answer the call either through a button on my bike, most likely, or I could touch the phone because it's up here on the handlebars. Her voice coming through that phone call would have to wirelessly jump to this device, go down this cord, go to the bike, and then Bluetooth back up to my helmet for me to hear her. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 channels to get to my ear from her voice. And it always sounded like third world AM radio. Barely audible, very rough and crackly. Did not like the connection at all. So I started trying to find a solution. That's when I ran across Tom with Tom's Goldwing Adventures, who had a different setup using the Maidhawk device. And the TifZioGu device is the same thing. They do the same thing, as I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's video. But here's the difference. Now that hang on, stay with me. Now that this TifZioGu device is hooked up into my saddlebag, it makes the bike think that this is this. It's the only thing it does. This TifZioGu device is not hooked to my phone in any way. They don't communicate. There's nothing going back and forth between these two. All this does is make the bike think this is connected to it. When it's not, this is no longer connected to the bike. This makes it think it is. Okay? That's all this does. Tells the bike, hey, there is a comm system attached to me, so now I can allow Apple CarPlay to come up on the screen if it's either plugged into the bike or is Bluetooth to something plugged into the bike. The route for the phone, the Apple CarPlay, is still going through the same channel. Phone to device to bike. The only thing different is the helmet is no longer, the Sena, is no longer connected directly to the bike. This is making it believe it is. So that's what that's for. Now why? Why would I do that? Because now I can take my phone and make a Bluetooth connection directly to the Sena. That wasn't in the prior circumstance. That was not the case. The phone, I've told you, 4 devices. A phone call had to go through 4 devices to get to my ear. Now I Bluetooth connect this directly to the Sena, and there's only 2 devices for a phone call, and I'm telling you, the calls are crystal clear. The iTunes off of this are crystal clear with just a 2-part connection rather than a 4-part connection. Similar to a phone call, in the old way, if I wanted to listen to iTunes, it was a 4-part transition till it got to my ears, and it was just crappy audio. And I knew from my VTX days there was a better solution. And that better solution was get these 2 married up directly. All right? So, how do I then get this phone connected to the bike so that Apple CarPlay or anything from this phone, anything, text messages, Apple CarPlay, iTunes, phone calls, can make its way through the bike? Okay? You connect it Bluetooth wise. This does not, you do not take this Bluetooth dongle and you don't plug it into the TifZioGu device, even though it does have a pass-through. You could, if you didn't have another USB port, you could, but you don't need to. All right? You link your phone up to a wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto device like Quadlock here or Carlin Kit. And then everything from your phone, or at least Apple CarPlay, can pop up on your screen because your phone is linked to your bike this way. All right? There is a caveat to what I just said, though. Everything I just told you is for a Goldwing 2018 to 2024 model. You need this device, this Carlin Kit or Quadlock wireless dongle for Apple CarPlay. All right, you need that device. If you have a 25 or 26 year model Goldwing, this device is the software that runs this device is now embedded in the bike's software. The bike acts as a wireless CarPlay adapter. You can connect the phone directly to the bike without this, and Apple CarPlay will come up. That's if you have a 25 or 26 year model. 18 through 24, you're going to have this. All right? So that's the difference. But okay, so don't get confused with the TifZioGu as some kind of Apple CarPlay voice message, iTunes device. That's not. All the TifZioGu is doing is making your bike think that a communication device, Sena or Cardo, is connected to the bike. That's all it's doing. You're going to either need this or you're going to need a year model that already has this to finish the setup. So I rambled a little bit. I hope that wasn't too confusing. But I wanted to let you guys know how, once I get the TifZioGu device hooked up, how was it Apple CarPlay was coming up on my bike, because there is another step. You got to have your phone connected to the bike in order for Apple CarPlay to come up. And the way I do that is through this device, a wireless Apple CarPlay dongle from Quadlock. It's a great one. Carlin Kit, also a good one. Go out and get those if you need them. If you have, like I said, a 25 or 26 Year model, you don't need them because this is built in. It's built in. Wireless Apple CarPlay on the 25, 26 year models. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for indulging me in yet another audio discussion. We're going to get this down to a science. My solution may not be your solution. What I needed most was clear phone calls from my wife and clear iTunes music. And the only way I could get that was to have this phone hooked up to this device, the Sena, directly by Bluetooth. Don't go through anything else, right here, okay? But I also want Apple CarPlay, and to do that, I've got to have this phone hooked up to this, and this hooked up to the bike. I had to have that. So those are my reasonings that I'm doing all this. And it's working. My phone calls are crystal clear now. The music from iTunes is crystal clear now. The only thing that I can't do now is voice commands if I have this X5 running and it already accepts voice commands through my microphone in the helmet. If it's already that audio connection, it won't let me also have an audio connection to my phone where I can say, hey, SIRI, send Cruiseman a text. I can't say that because the X5 camera is taking priority of the audio. This is not hearing me, or at least it's not talking back. So that I can't do, but okay. I just got to know that when I have that camera running, I really can't do much else. I got to do the camera thing, shut the camera off, and then I can go back to normal phone calls and iTunes and all that good stuff. Wow, this was a rambling video. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you again next week, and until then, ride safe, and God bless.